Hello, Allan, Blain here, and my beautiful wife.
Nicole Blain, thank you.
Yes, and we wanted to make this video because we have several people asking us how we work together. We do work together. We own a home business together, and we've worked full-time together now for probably over 3 years, part-time for a couple years before that. But we have several people in our team, in our organization, that's now a global organization that also work in this business with their spouse or maybe with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And so the context of this video is how do you work best together, and how can we, more effectively be a team? And so that's why we wanted to share with you 3 tips that we found that help us to be more effective.
And it wasn't like this in the beginning. It took a while, and we finally figured it out.
And that's true. And we're still learning,
Yes.
and every day is a new adventure. So we by no means have this all figured out, but we have learned a few things over the last 27 and a half years of marriage and 5 years of working in business together. So the very first tip that we want to share with you is to understand and embrace each other's unique differences, each person's unique personality and individuality. And I would say, in many couples cases, and Nicole and I are no exception, we have some differences, don't we?
We are bipolar opposite. But it's really helped in our business being bipolar opposite. So we've used the strengths in our unique abilities and focus in that area. So yeah,
Absolutely.
It's really actually been a blessing for us.
Nicole's the fun one. She's the, Labrador Retriever personality, if you will.
Yes, and he is, I would say, type A, definitely Mr. Organized, incredible. He's a leader, natural born leader. He loves teaching people something. If he's passionate about something, whatever it is, he will love to show somebody and teach someone, and he gives amazing instructions. That's one of the reasons why I married you, actually.
And Nicole actually keeps things fun, which is something that my personality type very much needs. The life of the party. Everybody that meets Nicole loves her. Just very outgoing, very personable, loves people, and is creative. So many of the strengths that she has that I don't have, and that's why we complement each other so well. And on this first point of embracing that, I guess the first thing is understand what each person's unique personality type is, each person's unique giftings, talents, and abilities and skills. And instead of letting it rub you wrong or irritate you, embrace that and realize that that is a really good thing. Those things about Nicole in this case complement my weaknesses, and vice versa. And we want to find roles that we can, in whatever business you may be working in with your spouse, that you can use your skills, talents, and abilities and unique personality in their strengths, right? And we each can find the roles and be clear on the roles that each person is taking in the business, even though a lot of the roles overlap, for sure. But that's the first and foremost important thing.
And with that said, we also focus, if we do have a weakness in an area, we don't give up completely. Like, I'm definitely not organized, but, he encourages me. You got to get more organized, get on a schedule. And so I'm not going to let that go. It's like, yes, I need it, because I truly believe you can get better at something. So it sounds crazy, enjoy being organized, but I try. I try my hardest.
Right, and she's doing a great job.
Vice versa, this guy, being friendly or whatever. He used to be more introvert, and now he's become more an extrovert. So
an introvert by nature and an extrovert by choice.
Yeah, we encourage one another.
Absolutely. So number 2 tip is to learn to communicate. Learn to communicate. Somebody's just Amazon delivering a package. Learn to communicate. And what I mean by that is communicate, but also in the way that we communicate. It's so easy for us to take for granted our spouse, our partner, our business partner, and just not treat them with the same level of courtesy and communication. I know I'm probably the chief offender of all, just in a rush and in a hurry, and we've got to be very, very careful in how we communicate. And the criticism or the constructive criticism, we need to deliver it in the same way we, as a good coworker, manager, leader, CEO, or whatever we may be out in the marketplace, would communicate with a coworker or an executive
Absolutely.
or a peer.
Yes.
And we've got to communicate with that same kind of respect and honor, you know?
Yes.
I mean, it's so easy just to say, you know, that, hey, that video was no good. You know, you need to do this differently,
Yeah.
but we need to, you know, obviously
Yes.
show grace. And,
Yeah, and that's something, you know, we learned in the beginning. It was not like that. And so we'd be like, you hurt my feelings, you know? I mean, both of us, whatever it was. And then we
usually it was
learned,
me
like,
hurting
okay.
her feelings,
Well,
unfortunately.
that's not
Sorry
true.
to say.
That's not true. But so anyways, we've worked at that and we finally figured out like, whoa, yeah, we need to uplift, you know, and encourage and and communicate
Right.
better.
Which is one of the things I love about working with Nicole, because, you know, we've been married 27 years. So I guess the 22 years before that, when we weren't working together, you know, we're apart more of the time. There was, we can get sloppy in our marriage and in our relationship, and we weren't forced to have to spend as much time or get to spend as much time. That's how we view it, is get to spend as much time together and work through things and communicate. And although initially it's a little bit of a rub and a challenge, it produces.
It's forced us to become better.
Absolutely.
We had to.
Yeah.
We're with each other like 24/7.
Yeah. And it's produced fruit not only in our business, but also it spills out over into every area of our marriage. At communication, I don't think anybody within the sound of our voice right now watching this video is disputing that. Communication is key in any relationship. So that's number 2. The third tip is what is the third tip? Oh, the third tip is to keep the relationship first. We want to keep the relationship first, okay? So Nicole and I we'll have business meetings. We'll even have, you know, date nights that are business meetings, you know? This is really important to have times where we're together, we're alone, we're planning, we're, you know, talking about our vision and our dreams and our goals and our strategy. And as important as that is as business partners, it's equally as important to have times when we say no business, right, babe?
That's right. That's right. No business. You know, talk about other things. And I think it's true too with your family, with your own children, you know, because in the beginning of this business, we were talking about it like all the time. And the kids were like, you talk about your business all the time. We're like, oh yeah, we should not do that at the dinner table. So so then we realized, oh my goodness, we need to ask each other questions. How was your day? And, you know, and leave that out. So.
Right. And that's another point Nicole brought up in this third point, I guess, the third tip would be the children. If children are involved, to make sure that conversations around the dinner table and everywhere else isn't always revolving around the business. So keep the relationship first. Tip 3. Doesn't just relate to the marriage. I'm glad you brought this up, but it also relates to the children.
Absolutely.
And on that point, I'll say this. It is super exciting and fun to be on a date with Nicole and talk business. If it's vision and strategy and wins and excitement, it's wonderful.
So fun.
But the thing that we need to be careful of, and the reason why we have to block out time to say, hey, during this date, no business talk, or during this segment of this time together, no business talk, we're just gonna go do something fun together, is because business isn't always just rainbows and butterflies and fun. As excited as we are about our business, you know, there's the challenges and the problems and the issues, and that's the kind of stuff, if all we talk about, which thankfully we don't, but if that's something that a couple is always
it's just important to nurture our relationship, and then also you know, there's balance in everything in life, and I think that, you know, we learn how to balance it the right way.
Absolutely. So we're still learning, but these are 3 tips we wanted to give to you because they're things that have really helped us. We've been learning the hard way, if you will,
and it makes for a red hot marriage, let me tell you.
Exactly. I agree. Couldn't agree more. So in summary, 3 tips. Number 1, understand and embrace each other's unique personality type. Number 2, learn to communicate and communicate the right way.
That's right.
And number 3, keep your relationship first. I hope that was helpful, and hopefully we'll see you on another video. Until next time, make it a great day.
Bye, guys.
See ya.